Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Please keep that love going for the one and only Kendall Mark right over there.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
I know.
Loud and exciting.
It's a Tuesday crowd. Feels like a Friday crowd.
Yeah.
I know. How you doing?
Great. Great.
Happy day. Happy Tuesday, friend.
I wore my jingle earrings to bring some joy, but I didn't even need to because they brought all the joy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seriously.
You doing well?
I am. Yeah, I think it's been like 75 days without sun here, so we're hanging in there.
And today there's supposed to be another snowstorm, but I'm not going to complain about weather because that's kind of like a state pastime of ours. But I'm going to focus on the positive. The foot is feeling better.
Good.
Yeah, I can
Yes.
I'm weebling and not wobbling, so I'm not doing both. I'm kind of walking in a straight line, which is good. And yeah, feeling pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
I can confirm he is limping a lot less than
Yes,
he was
absolutely.
yesterday even.
Yeah. Yesterday it was a little hard getting around, but I mean, again, my friend Michelle, who's part of my High School 5, I had her call into the radio show because she had posted something on Twitter and she goes, nobody told me this about the 40s, that when you get past like a certain point, things, it's like, the warranty on your car just expires and things just start breaking and you got to get new wipers and you got to get new, I got to get new wipers is what I'm saying. So
couple headlights,
Absolutely. Well, one of the, I think when I talk to people around the town or whatever, one of the things they like the most about the show is the fact that we kind of have a Jason Show family, Kendall and Ted and Leo, and the behind the scenes folks are really part of the show, and that's by design. We wanted it that way. That really started. That started with Letterman. Before Letterman, shows were very buttoned up. You would never really see that on Carson.
Right.
You wouldn't see the floor director. Well, and then Letterman comes along, and we all met Biff. And so this is this was intentional. This we kind of introduced you to everyone by design. Well, one of those people that you've known over the years is our executive producer, Jeff. And I've known Jeff since I was, 24 years old. He's worked at Channel 9 like for 25 years, and we're basically the same person. He's a dear friend of mine. Well, he's on vacation this week. He's on vacation. So two things.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. Two things are happening. Jeff is gone and Ted is in charge, which Audience, if he was really in charge, he would have remembered to turn his light on. He would have remembered to turn, Ted, you're a little dark, buddy. You're a little dark. America can't, a little bit of light. There we go. Now, that was Ted's forehead, wasn't it? That was,
I think so.
Well, so Ted is in charge, and the other thing that is happening is it is executive producer Jeff's birthday today. That's right. So, Ted, is this some video or is it a soundbite? What are we rolling?
There is music.
There is. Okay, here we go.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die.
That's me trying to hug him. The many faces of Jeff Orchid. Happy birthday, buddy. Oh, Eric. Kendall and I have to tell you, another thing I think you like about the show is I call it, we pull the curtain back. So all of those were the Jeff and the sweater. So, oh God, Kendall and I were shooting a promo that day in the next studio, and Jeff needed Kendall and I to be at a meeting. He needed us. So we're in the next studio shooting this holiday promo, and I'm not throwing shade, but our creative service department who does the promos, girl, they like to take a lot of takes. They like to take
a lot of options.
A lot of takes. They like us to say the one word that we need to say 50 times.
Yes.
You know, that was really good. Say it again. You know what I mean? So Jeff was losing patience. So those faces are him going, what? Like, I need them.
Wrap it up.
And our social media director, Addie, caught his face and sent it to us. And I will keep that picture forever because it is the truest sense of Jeff right there. That's fantastic.
The super zoom of him.
The super zoom, that's Jeff, yeah. Why are they taking so long?
What are they doing?
No, all jokes aside, he's the best there is.
Yes.
I've said it many times. I couldn't and wouldn't do the show without photographer. I wouldn't do the show without this crew, period. Jeff, it would be impossible to do this show without Jeff. So Jeff, I love you. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Here we go. Let's go. Well, first off, if it seems like everyone was watching the White Lotus season 2 finale on Sunday night, including my mother, that's because everyone was. The finale drew more than 4 million viewers on Sunday alone. Now, I always like to put these ratings in perspective. Trust me when I say this, that's big. That's up 50% from just the week before. And audience, listen to this, that's more than double the season 1 finale. Each episode this season has averaged 10 million views across all platforms like HBO Max, HBO Now, HBO Later, all of them. All of them. A huge hit. You look on Vanity Fair, Entertainment Weekly, Time Magazine, the New York Times, whatever. Everyone is writing that this is the best show of the year. And again, I got my mom on it, and she sent me, I told her to watch this and Hacks, and she sent me a text. She goes, I am so mad at you. I didn't go to bed until 2 o'clock in the morning watching all of this. So yeah, she's not real happy with me.
She binged.
I told her she would love it. It's such a good show. You have not watched it yet.
I know. It's because I didn't love season 1, so I didn't finish it. So when everyone was talking about season 2, I was like, well, I didn't like 1. Why would I watch 2? But now I'm like, I should probably watch it.
Yeah, it is. The buzz is legit. It's worthy of the buzz.
Well, and everyone's talking about how the finale was perfect. Like, not just, I mean, I'm talking like all circles of people. I'm like, oh wow, everybody loves it.
I always say it's hard to land the plane. They landed the plane very well. Really, really well. I mean, it is perfection. Yeah. And Jennifer Coolidge, a national treasure, man. Next in the dish, the upcoming Discovery Plus docuseries about Glee. Remember that here on Fox? Is scheduled to debut early next year. Discovery Plus says the series will be called The Price, and this isn't dramatic at all, The Price of Glee. It's so dramatic. It's going to interview cast and crew members. Let me put that in air quotes. But some of those who were on the show want nothing to do with it. Kevin McHale, who played Artie, calls the entire thing trash. He says he doesn't know anyone from the show who has participated. He and fellow co-star Jenna, who played Tina, they have a hugely successful podcast, one of those rewatch podcasts where stars of a show rewatch their own show and give commentary. Well, they hit back at what's in the series. Other cast members have called the docuseries tabloid, like gross, a tabloid. It's expected to highlight controversies around the show, including, and we all know this, the death of 3 cast members. I am always skeptical. I'm not going to bust on Investigation Discovery because my mom will take me out of the will. But because she loves Investigation Discovery. However, I am always suspect of cheap documentaries. I'm always like, is it real? And when you look at the trailer for this, and I did, there's not a single cast member who took part. that tells me that's a red flag to me.
Right.
That's a red flag.
And it's really odd. Naya Rivera's dad is in it.
That's gross.
It's
That's not
just-
odd, Kendall. That's gross.
Yeah, it's like your daughter died.
Yeah.
And then like to go on and talk about how fame was a lot. It just, it's ishy.
It's ick. It's
Yeah.
real ick. Because it's like, no matter what his intentions are,
Right.
and it's about intention, no matter what his intention is, the perception is he's capitalizing on
Money, yeah.
his daughter's death.
Oh, totally. And I think what the Glee cast has all said,
Possibly, yeah.
even the ones who have gone and said, oh, well, this was my experience, this terrible thing happened, even all of them have been like, listen, it also brought a ton of people joy, and there were a lot of really good things about this show, too. So stop just making it into this huge train wreck.
Kevin McHale said, and I agree with this, I love that there's a new generation, which is so weird to think about. It's been... I remember when the show was, it wasn't that long ago,
Right.
but there's a whole batch of kids that never watched it in its first run that are discovering Glee and watching it just for pure enjoyment
Right.
and know nothing about the scandals that came with it.
I loved that
because
show.
Fundamentally, it was
Yeah.
a great, joyful show. We're going to try to continue to do a joyful show.
Try.
We have a joyful audience, so it'll be very easy. Go get some more tea. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Y'all clap real good. Y'all have a good flow to you. Yeah. Welcome back. No one is hotter than Aubrey Plaza right now, speaking of White Lotus. She was in White Lotus season 2 and also appeared in the critically acclaimed low-budget movie Emily the Criminal. A little bit later, I'm going to be talking about Emily in Paris. But anyway, She talked about getting into that character, and that, dear friends, is our late night rewind.
Feels like one of these great old 70s crime films. It just has this real propulsion behind it.
I know. That's what I love about it. It's like a real down and dirty like LA story, but like the LA that you don't get to see a lot in movies. Like mostly it's like hipster Silver Lake LA or whatever. But yeah, it reminded me of like Straight Time with Dustin Hoffman
Yeah.
or like Michael Mann movies. And I don't know. There's just something kind of.
It's I know you shot it on a very small budget, but there's some great action sequences, great car chase scenes. Were those fun pulling off on a shoestring?
Yeah, I mean, they were fun, very dangerous, because we didn't have a lot of money. So, you know, it was like, you know, certain streets weren't locked down. And, you know, day one, actually, when I got in the car, I was like, you know, the camera was in the front seat with me. The DP was operating the camera. The director's in the back, just the three of us in the car. And I was like, so where are we going? Should I take a stroll around the block? And they were like, we're getting on the 10. And I was like, the 10, which is the highway in Los Angeles that is really scary. And within like 10 minutes, I was going 80 miles an hour down the 10, getting in actual road rage incidents with people. It all felt really real.
No. Nope. Nope. I get you're doing a low budget movie, not going 80 miles an hour. Look, but I do have a friend. If you watch the show since the beginning, her name is Hey Haley.
Oh, yes.
Haley, my best friend Haley, who lives in LA. Oh God, I'm thinking about it now. You know, I ride
You get indigestion from this?
I get a little sick because Haley lives in LA, and when I go visit her and we go to Disneyland, she drives about 120 miles an hour, and I'm sitting there, and the whole time I'm like this, and it's on the 10, and I'm pretty sure I see my life flash before my eyes every time I'm with her. Yeah.
You don't exactly have like a light foot either. I'm not saying you have a lead foot, but you don't have a light foot. Oh, honey, I've seen you speed past me out of the parking lot onto the highway. No, going slow in the left lane. Because Daddy's always in it. Woo! I said it wasn't a lead foot, it's a light foot.
Ted, I know Jeff isn't here, but can we still fire her? I mean, I'm just like we can.
Contractually
Can you look? Can
speaking.
you look up? Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Wow. Okay, you're right. I drive fast. Next. Let's just move past. Two of my faves in one space. Lizzo was on Howard Stern yesterday. Yeah. Baba Booey. It was a good. again, rinse and repeat. It was a good interview. Of course it was. It's Howard. And talked about her unlikely friendship with Adele. Look at this.
Are there people in show business you're close with where you do have their number and you call them and you say, hey, I'm going through something now. I didn't expect fame to be like this. Is there someone that you confide in that you have real mad respect for?
I'll say this. The first person who ever talked to me like that was Adele. Like, Adele was like, Lizzo. She called me. It was like, how do you do it? Like, she was literally like, how are you doing this? Like, when she first came out, the culture of music and being an artist was so different, especially what you were saying to social media. And she was just like, are you okay? Do you want to come over and drink some wine? Do you want to talk? And I was like, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're going to get advice from anybody, Lizzo. She told Howard a really sweet story about, she was the musical guest and host of SNL a little while back.
Yep.
And she said it was on purpose. She could have had a cast member or someone else introduce her, because you guys have watched SNL. You know how the host always goes, ladies and gentlemen, Billy Idol, to introduce the musical guest. Why did I choose Billy Idol?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have no idea where that came from.
Why out of all the artists in the world? Anyway, and she said, and if you remember, and I didn't remember until she said it, she had her mom do it. She had her mom introduced her on Saturday Night Live, and she said she wanted it because she's not that it needs repair, but she's really working on, now that they're adults, her relationship with her mom.
That's
and
good.
I thought that was really sweet. Yeah.
Who doesn't like Lizzo?
Well, there are people, but we are not here.
We
love
are not
Lizzo.
them.
Yeah, I love Lizzo. I love her. I adore her. I love her music. I love everything about her.
She plays the flute.
She plays the flute.
I mean, seriously.
She was a band kid. How can you not love a band kid?
Duh.
Hashtag French horn. Just saying. Yeah. Next on the dish. We have people are laughing at my French horn skills. Let me just tell you, yeah.
Can you it's the vision of you playing French horn, I think. It's like the.
I was good.
I know, I'm not saying you weren't. It's just like the.
Yeah.
It's a funny looking instrument to play.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, yeah, it's good.
I was in band too. I'm just
I
saying.
know. What did you play in band?
I was in the percussion. Duh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I was one of those percussion
Judging
kids.
me, and that looked real classy right there, lady. Yeah. Yeah. Next in the dish, we have somewhat breaking news in the pageant world.
What?
Just to save it. I know you're going to laugh at Ted. Anyway, Miss USA and Miss Universe announced some major changes to their contestant eligibility. That's right. Pageants around women. The pageants announced women who are married or have been married, and those who have kids are not allowed to compete. Previously, a ring or a kid would have disqualified you. The age limit remains the same at 28. We now turn to our pageant correspondent, Kendall, for reaction. Now, this is not, I do not know this universe, no pun intended. You do. Speak to the people.
Okay, so, most of the history of all the pageants, you had to be of a certain age, you had to look a certain way, you had to have not a ring, blah, 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 all the things we just said. Now they're trying to expand it because, let's be real, pageants just ain't what they used to be. They don't even have TV contracts anymore.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, anybody want to do it? You can come do it. You can come do it. I asked my sister.
Who was Miss Minnesota, for people that don't know,
Yes. In the other organization, the Miss America organization, and she sent me a quick response and then said, don't read that on the air. Here's the secondary response, which was a little bit more eloquent. It essentially said, I think that it's great that anyone should be able to do pageants that want to. However, there are other Mrs. pageants for that. So,
there is.
Yeah.
When I first moved here in the late 90s and early 2000s, here being Minneapolis, and you guys go on YouTube, one of the best, and our boss, Marion Mim Davy Kessler, I watched with her. The Mrs. Minnesota pageant is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life because they wear costumes. And
that's right.
The woman that represented, hold on to your wigs and keys, because one year, it's on YouTube, one year, the woman that represented Bloomington.
Yes. Was she dressed like the Mall of America? She was not.
I'm going to try to say this. I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing at
I'm laughing with her.
I am laughing with her. she had, because she's Bloomington, so she comes out and they have to wear costumes that represent their city. And she comes out and goes like this. And she had a cape, and there was an M and then an A, and right here was a cutout of the O, like the O for M-O-A, and it was her belly, like the O was cut out, you could see her belly. I thought, that is the best damn costume I've ever seen in my life.
Some creativity.
I loved it. I want to find her and be friends with her. Woof. Woof. M-O-A. I thought, you win, sister, in my book.
And how can she just be in the normal pageants now? What would we watch if
What
there's
could
no
you do?
misses?
I think all pageants should have costumes.
They do.
They do?
Well,
They
the
do
Miss
not.
USA does. Miss USA, they do.
Okay.
They do. They have to represent their state. And so
Oh.
it's always very similar to what you're expressing, but with like a ton of money. So it's very sparkly and feathery.
Oh, no,
you know?
girl, I want Miss Bloomington out there with the, yeah. Next in the dish, the Netflix reality series The Circle is coming back for season 5. It's the show, if you don't know, it's the show where contestants communicate through a little app, and the catfishing is real. For this season, they're bringing back some former players. Look at this.
Whoa. Hi, old friend. We're back!
It's The Circle, the ultimate game of strategy, honey. And this season,
Oh, hello, Brett.
everyone is playing single.
I have a tender heart, so if I'm liking a girl and she turns out to be a catfish, that would be terrible.
It's game on.
I'd rather be doing squats with you underneath me.
That's how you flirt right there. King and queen of the circle.
They get to go on a date?
As long as Raven doesn't know, I'm good.
Did he really think that we were not going to talk?
Oh,
What?
Why, Ted? Why?
Yeah, is
why?
this a you thing?
No, Ted, why?
Ted.
Why? Again, let me say it. I'd rather put a campfire out with my face than watch that. I'm not watching it. No, I'm not watching that.
Home Alone style.
I'm not doing it.
5
no.
seasons?
What?
Did you read that?
There's
Did
been
he
on
say
for 5.
5?
There are good shows that get canceled after 1, and we got that crap running for like 16 years. Yeah.
5 seasons?
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
I need to look at the stories a little closer. Then, yeah. The new season will drop on Netflix at the end of the month if you so choose to watch it. The series always ranks in Netflix's top 10 throughout its run.
Are we just
okay?
bored?
Ted's right. I mean, Ted knows his TV. Yeah.
First of all,
What?
are you sure about that? Second of all, Mr. I Know My TV, should we go back to the Miss Universe, Miss USA bit?
No. Yeah.
Ted called it breaking news this morning. And let's be
somewhat
clear, it came out
breaking
in
news.
August.
Yeah.
Ted.
You can see
you
this
need to
whole thing go
home.
down. Here's the tease. We'll do it for tease. You can see this whole fight between Ted and Kendall go down on our Facebook show, The Jason Show Before the Show.
Like, subscribe, and watch.
That's right. Next to the dish, a third Princess Diary movies is potentially in the works, but one of the stars, I think the most important one, from the original is likely not to be involved. The great Julie Andrews revealed that if there was a third movie, it probably wouldn't be possible for her to be in it. She's 87 now, and it's unclear how far away the movie is from production. The original film debuted way back, in 2001. I forgot about that. And launched 18-year-old Anne Hathaway's career. And by the way, she hasn't even signed on for a third movie. So here's my advice. If you don't have Anne and you don't have Julie, don't do it.
Right.
I mean, come on.
And why?
Julie Andrews opened, she wrote a show, wrote a stage show. Or no, I'm sorry, she directed a stage show. It was her first show that she ever did on Broadway. She brought it to the Ordway. I got to sit down and interview Julie one-on-one. She was right across from me. It was one of those great moments where I'm like, holy crap, there's Mary Poppins. And she's sitting, and she was as delightful as you think she would be.
Good.
So I brought my friend Kristen to the premiere that night, and this is true story. Kristen was always very grateful. She was one of those friends that when I took her to stuff like this, she was always like, thank you so much. And I loved bringing her because she was excited as I was. We did a receiving line with Julie Andrews, and Kristen comes up to Julie And Julie goes, it's a pleasure to meet you. And she shook Kristen's hand. Kristen did not wash that hand for 2 months. 2 months. Yeah. 2 months.
There's a germ
Kristen
joke.
is a very clean person, I just want to say, yeah.
Germ joke.
We have a lot more ahead. Stay right there. We'll be back right after this. Back in a moment.
Coming up, another week, another Christmas movie to review. Producer Ted is back, and he's bringing some holiday cheer. And so many people have told me I would love Netflix's Emily in Paris.
You don't come to Paris to be good.
Sexy.
Well, I tried it, and I will have my Parisian pontification when we return.
Welcome back. A former high school class president wants to host the perfect 15-year high school reunion. Good luck with that. And is also excited to see her teenage crush. But things don't go exactly as planned. That's right. Thank you, audience. That's the gist for the Hallmark Christmas movie. Look, I love audience participation. I really love when the whole second row goes, oh, come on, like that. Here's a little clip of Christmas class reunion.
This is Skylar, my 13 going on 50-year-old who apparently watches TED Talks. Elle and I went to high school together.
I'm a coder too, app design.
Nice. What software do you use?
Aubrey, but I also build my own.
That is very impressive.
I'm applying for the summer coding program at Carnegie Mellon. Could I use you as a reference?
Skylar.
I'd be happy to be a reference. It's a great program. I was actually a speaker there last summer.
Of course you were. But that's very nice, thank you.
Yes, thank you. I'll wait in the car.
Now I'm with the second row. Yeah, really. Will the highly successful Elle fall for the guy from Liberty, from that Liberty Mutual commercial? That's good. That's good, Ted. Good writing, Theodore. Ted's writing of this intro is better than the whole damn movie. Look at that. Only one, yes? Only one. There's only one human being that can answer that question. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Producer Ted Reviews Christmas Movies. Joining us from his producer podium is producer Ted Johnson. Hello, Ted.
Hello.
Yes, you are in the executive wing, I hear, of the Jason Show studio.
It's
yes.
so nice over here. It's so much leather.
I know.
Rich mahogany.
You have your own monitor behind you.
Yep.
Okay, Ted, let's start with the basic. I gave a little bit there. Expand. What else do we need to know about the plot of the movie?
So we've got a high school reunion, you know, and this girl, she goes back to winter formal, and winter formal was a disaster for her. She got soaked in water, and so every class party that this group has is just a disaster. So she's trying to make things right, and it's for the 15-year reunion, but of course things go wrong.
Of course they do. Okay, I think row 2 in our audience already answered this, but how was the acting?
That was one. So I actually kind of enjoyed the movie, but the one drawback was that the acting was terrible.
Yeah,
it was actually.
I know.
It was brutal to watch.
I know. But again, we can't. I always like to defend the actors. The actors can only do so much with the material they're given. Am I right on that?
But I mean, even the clip that you saw there. I mean, you can say that coding line with a little more oomph, a little more energy, but it was just like, oh yeah, you did some coding, huh? You want to go to that camp? Okay, great.
Okay. You know what I like to say sometimes? Let's focus or lead with the positive. Was there anything that you liked about Christmas class reunion?
I thought the.
Please, Ted, don't stumble your way through the positive part, Ted.
I was like, I did have a positive to say, and then I forgot it. But the idea that the little girl was into coding, I thought, oh, that's refreshing for a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. You really stretched for that one, didn't you, Ted? Yeah. Okay, Ted, I've been told that you had a moment during the movie. What happened, friend?
Yeah, so they go back to their winter formal dance, and they go 2007.
Okay.
And then they flash forward and they go 15 years later, and I was like, wait a second, I graduated in 2003. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm coming up on my 20-year reunion.
Okay, we got to get to the list. Were you popular? I've never asked you this, Theodore. Were you a popular kid in school?
I was about what you would think, sort of mediocre, not like super popular, but not popular. So I sort of hovered right in the middle there.
You're right, Theodore. It's exactly what I thought. Yes. Okay, let's get. Theodore, we do our checklist because all these movies are formulaic. You ready?
Yep.
Big city girl goes back to small town.
San Francisco goes to Hartford, Connecticut, so sort of.
Sort of, yeah. Was someone unnecessarily cranky?
No, not really.
Okay.
No.
A big event that was in jeopardy at some point?
The high school reunion was in jeopardy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my favorite, did they kiss under a gazebo or at least under some mistletoe?
No, just on the high school basketball court.
I mean, this is barely a Hallmark movie, seriously, yeah. Okay, Ted, the moment the audience has been waiting for, how many gold crowns?
I did sort of enjoy it, so we're gonna give it a shade over 2 crowns. So
there we go.
2.111 crown.
Ted Johnson, everybody. Christmas Class Reunion is available on the Hallmark Channel and on Peacock. My review of Emily in Paris when we return. Back in a moment. Did I like it? You'll find out. Is it worth your time, more importantly?
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Look, Kendall, we're in France.
Jason in Paris.
I know. So recently, I watched Kendall's favorite show, Emily in Paris, the 3rd season. Yeah. The 3rd season premieres next week on Netflix, but I wanted to see what all the hype was about. And I'm not joking. Kendall wasn't the only one that told me to watch this show. She was the most vocal, but I counted during the radio show, I had at least 7 people say a variety of, this show is for you, you would like it, it's right up your alley.
Give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl. So I started season 1 last night. We ended up watching, I think, 4 or 5 episodes. Before I go into my thoughts, here's a little bit of the show.
Emily Cooper?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
I got a feeling I'm in trouble when I look at you.
I'm Emily. Your new neighbor?
Enchanté.
'Cause once I do it, yeah, I know I'll never get enough.
So, you've come to teach the French some American tricks?
Never get enough.
Has anyone noticed this is a very dysfunctional workplace?
I think you're the one bringing the drama.
You got that something that
I'm so glad we're friends. So you're single in Paris? I didn't know that you had a girlfriend. French men are flirts. Just act normal when you see him.
But I'm not this person. I'm the girl who shows up, not the girl who makes bad decisions.
You don't come to Paris to be good.
Sexy. Oh, would you stop?
No, you don't go to Paris to be good. It's Emily in Paris. Lily Collins. Stars in it. She's also an executive producer. Okay, I will focus on the positive here.
Oh no!
What? I didn't even start.
You start. I'll focus on the positive when you're gonna go on the negative.
Life, there's a balance. I mean, I gotta balance it out. No, here's the positive. People are right. It's a great show to watch while you're doing your laundry. You don't have to pay attention to it like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings.
You don't need a Venn diagram.
No, you don't need ways to show you how everyone's connected. It is very Darren Star, who created, as you saw, Sex and the City and Younger. He has a type. He has a type, and this show is. I love the fashion. I love that just like Sex and the City, Paris is a character in this show. They actually film it 5 months out of the year in Paris. It's not a green screen. That matters to me, and I think it makes me. I actually love the character of the city.
Right.
I like Paris. I did get into some of the characters. Here is my huge negative.
What?
Am I supposed to hate her?
Oh. Okay.
I don't know if I like Emily in Paris on Emily in Paris.
You're on episode 4.
I'm on episode 4 of the first season, and she drives me insane.
Okay.
Like, she drives me crazy.
Well, she starts.
She drives me insane, and I can't stand her.
I can't believe you love me because she's very high energy, like someone else here on this set, and so that's why people I think go crazy about. Oh, I'm serious. Sometimes people are like, "You're a lot." And
Yeah,
she's
but I
a lot.
can tell you that.
Yeah.
I can't yell at the TV and Emily. You know what I mean?
Give it. Has she gone to the south of France yet?
No.
Oh, girl, give it until at least that episode.
Oh, I'm gonna get. Let me make your day. Let me make you happy.
Yes.
I'm not giving up. I actually like the show.
Good.
But all kidding, yeah.
Yeah.
But we gotta go. But here's the thing, Colin. I gotta give him credit. He said she's Carrie, and a lot of you, Carrie Bradshaw drives you crazy.
Right.
She's your least favorite. This character, Darren Star, tends to create the same type of. She's Carrie, and Carrie can drive you crazy sometimes.
I know, and I know we have to go, but how do you feel about Sylvie, her boss?
I like everybody else but Emily.
So cool.
Season 3 of Emily in Paris hits Netflix next week. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. I do like it. I do.
You would like it.
Yeah. I'm going to continue. Welcome back. Hi. There is a new kind of wine bar here in the Metro. I'm sure you have. Whoa, that was like a Price is Right shot. Come on down! Yeah. It's called, Leo, it's called Wineside. And when Kendall heard it was a self-pour wine bar, she left the show immediately and went right there. Look.
But I'm not kidding. When I came in, I thought this was like brie cheese because it's so pretty. Who knew fish could be so beautiful? Look at this display. Looks like soap. It's not. It's fish. Calamari. Dolce & Gabbana wrapped pasta. That is some bougie. You're gonna have to bleep that word out. Sorry. All right. If you love your family, you should buy them good food. Really delicious chocolate, dessert, pasta, all the things that I would want to eat. If you love your family, you also know that sometimes you need a drink. You can do all that here at Wineside. And I hear they have buttons and the wine just comes out of a fountain. It's like the fountain of youth, but with wine. Siri, this is your den of wine. Your
It's
layer
my
of
wine layer, yes.
I'm obsessed. There's how many bottles of wine here?
There's 104 wines by the glass in Enomatic, and then we have more behind the bar.
If I died and I go to heaven, fingers crossed, can you just bring me here to all the wine?
This is for people who are indecisive or people who love everything and want to embrace all. So you can basically create your own flight. We have all the wines organized by category. Some of the categories are based on country, some of the categories are based on the varietal.
So if someone walks in here, what do you do?
I offer them everything. I offer them the entire things.
So Siri made a big mistake. She gave me a loaded card and a glass of wine at a place with 104 bottles in these fancy machines. I'm up for the job.
If you're ready to go, we're
Yeah.
going to follow the arrow. The
Follow
arrow
the arrow.
goes right in place into that slot, and you want to really make sure that it's completely in.
This is what people who play like slots must feel like. Complete joy when you put your card in the machine.
So you can pick what you're interested in. Do you want to do a taste? Do you want to do a half a glass or a full glass?
A full glass. Here, look what's happening.
And it just flows seamlessly.
It's just flowing into my glass.
And then you pull that out, and that's it. And you've got your full glass of Susu Manello.
So now we've learned everything. And Siri's the expert on the things about the wine and wine. But we all know who the expert in drinking wine is. Right, Eric? I love it here.
You're a lucky lady today. We've got some magnificent stuff that we
Thank
put
you.
together for you to go along with the fine wine choices you've made.
You said that when you were coming up with this menu, so that it really was, though, all about the wine.
You know, it's a very European approach to things. They essentially get to curate their own experience by choosing from the tapas things on our menu, like the crab toast, the little salmon crostade we have, the chicken meatballs in Sicilian red sauce on a creamy, cheesy polenta.
I could die and live in this meal.
So I mean, we've got Borenkos Gouda from Holland. This is this awesome drunken manchego. It's a sheep's milk cheese from Spain.
Drunken manchego?
Drunken manchego. It's a sheep's milk cheese from Spain that they soak in wine.
Can I eat yet, Eric? Is it time? I mean, this is insane. I'm being serious. I'm going to eat food now, Eric. And you're going to just roll with it, even though the bosses love when I eat food on TV.
Right. Yeah, get in
Goes
there.
really well. Thanks.
Where's my phone?
I should bill. That's why I'm not allowed to eat on TV.
Please send me that shot.
And that's why the bosses don't love when we eat on camera. It's called Wineside, located in Minnetonka. It's where the Champs used to be, right?
Yes, right by
Yeah.
Ridgedale Center. So it's really
I
easy
had a
to get
horrible
to.
date there, just FYI. But yeah.
Okay. This is a much better version of where your date was then.
Yeah.
The food was divine. If you're not even a wine person and you just want a good meal and you're in the Minnetonka Ridgedale area, the food was really, really good. And then wine.
Come on.
Da.
Yeah. So go
Da.
shop at Ridgedale.
Yep.
And then it's
Shop
right
with
there
your
in the
wine.
parking lot. Yeah. There are great places like that no matter where you're watching. There was a place in Indianapolis that did this.
Yeah.
And I loved it. So great concept. Again, it's called Wineside in Minnetonka. For details, go to wineside.com. We'll be back right after this. Back in a moment. I'm going to check it out. Because it was. Full house today. Don't forget, you can get tickets to our show on eventbrite.com. Search for The Jason Show. And only pick a day when you can actually come. It's your chance to get some official Jason Show merch. You asked for it for 8 seasons. We delivered. Our swag shop is open for business, offering mugs, t-shirts, spittoons, water bottles, and more. Thank you for the 4 people that heard that. If you aim your camera... we should get a spittoon. That would be great. Anyway, if you aim your camera app at the QR code on the screen, it'll take you right to our shop. We posted links as well for your convenience on our Facebook and Instagram pages. We have great holiday stuff on there. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Makes a good gift. Welcome back. Wrapping things up. You know how this works. We don't know what's in this segment until right now. It's time for the surprise goodbye. Here we go. Hot tubs are highly sought after items this time of year when the weather gets cold, and now they're more accessible than ever. Say hello to the Tubble. This is an inflatable bathtub solution to all your soaking needs. Now you can go anywhere and bring your hot tub with you. The Tubble is available for $159, and it's available at Tubble.com. Hot water not included. That's right. Tomorrow, a very special, I'll get that for you. Tomorrow, a very special episode of our show Stephanie Hansen's kind of stealing the show for the day. So watch it. I'm so proud of my friend. You're going to love it. But right now, that's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.